Hey Anons, this is more of a story than anything, but I feel it's related, and I've had similar things happen to me in the past. I've always assumed that this specific experience was indeed astral projection, but this is truly the only time I've experienced something like this, so I can't be certain. This is my first green text ever, as I am a new fag to /x/, so please bear with the cringe. Be me. 12-year-old chuckle fuck with glasses. Be a scout. Be a Mormon scout. Haven't been blasted yet by Bishop. Guess I'm lucky. PNG. Hate going to church and shit, but whatever. Make friends in a new neighborhood. Friends say they're going to a summer camp. Ask around to see if I can go. Find out it's just the scout leaders and their kids. Naturally uneasy about spending a weekend with greasy 40-year-old Mormons. Parents drag me into it anyways. Guess I'm not lucky. JPEG. Oh well. Get comfy blankets and frozen tendies ready. Get in scout leader's gross-ass minivan. Find crusty fries in backseat. Chomp down on those fuckers. Anon, those fries are like 2 weeks old. Lol, don't care. Free fries. Get to camp. Set up tents and shit. All is well. Leaders tell us to go and play while they make dinner. Decide to go exploring in the woods. Playing hide and seek, tag and shit. Make dead baby jokes because we're 12. Anon, what's better than 14 dead babies nailed to one tree? What? One dead baby nailed to 14 trees. Hearty keks all around. Start getting far away from camp. Notice a lento teepee propped up against a tree. Rocks and shit inside. Get bored, continue exploring. It starts to get dark. Anon, it's getting late, maybe we should head back to camp? Just a little farther. Find 2 trees that have collapsed onto one another to form a sharp upside-down V-shaped archway. Cool as shit. Look around trees, nothing of notice. Cool formation though. Hear leaders calling our names. Oh shit, it's nighttime and we're in the middle of the woods. Hurry our asses back to camp. Only like 5 minutes away. Part 1. Racine, Wisconsin. Guess some Anons think there's some creepy culty vampire shit going on. But I'll share a creepy story. Be me, Green Bay Anon. Traveling down to Chicago for a bachelor party. Have a few weeks of time off from work, so I go sightseeing in all the shitty Lake Coast towns along the way. Get wasted in South Milwaukee and spend the night there at a hotel. Meet a girl at a bar and convince her to come back to my hotel room and have sex. Next morning I wake up and she's still there. Tells me that her friends drove back to where she's from and now she's stuck. Alright, fine, I'll give you a ride. She tells me she lives in Racine. WTF is Racine? Show up in Racine at about midday and drop her off. She lives with a couple other girlfriends. They ask if I want to stay and party. Say fuck it, I'll waste a day. Have a fun time, but kind of get the vibe that they just wanted to do drugs and not have sex or anything cool, so I leave at around 11. Stop at a gas station in the outskirts of Racine. Completely dead, not a noise around, really eerie. Pumping gas and suddenly hear a scraping of a shoe behind me. Nearly shit myself and look over my shoulder and see a gaunt, sickly looking dude standing there looking at me. Skinny AF, dirty clothes, the works, also has an unlit cigarette hanging from his mouth. His eyes are bugged out and red, and his pupils are black. He is disturbingly pale. You shouldn't be out here after dark. Buddy, back the fuck off. You shouldn't be out here. Not safe out here. Notice the guy has some drops of blood on the bottom of his shirt. Turn towards the guy. Back the fuck off, man. He steps back without breaking eye contact, unlit cigarette hanging from his mouth. Just back, walks into an alley and disappears. I get the fuck out of there and drive all night to my friends. Later hear about vampires apparently being in that town. I wouldn't doubt it, everything about that place is no. Be me. Had a dream in which I summoned a demoness. She wasn't happy about it. She pointed her finger at me. And as she lowered it down I felt a tremendous force, which pushed me down and made me kneel before her. She came closer and touched my forehead with her finger. I could feel she was able to read my every thought. She knew absolutely everything about me now. And she learned about my giantess fetish as well. She smiled and told me that she will let me experience it to the full extent. She shrunk me to about 4 inches and grabbed me in her hand. She looked at me with a grin on her face. And forced me into her pussy. She used me as a dildo. Until she orgasmed hard. Then she pushed me all the way deep inside her. And shrunk me to the size of a grain of sand. I don't want to die, I thought to myself. You won't, I heard her voice in my head, you will become part of me. And I heard her laugh cruelly somewhere above me. I felt so vulnerable and powerless. Then she started to shrink me even more. I woke up. Me. B78. Laying on couch watching TV. Couch shakes. Thought it was an earthquake, lived by Los Angeles. Look at dining room chandelier. Not swaying. Get scared, try to get dog. Dog won't come into room with me. Tries to bite me. Proceed to go back to the couch. Shakes again. Feels hands on neck. George Floyd.jpg. See shadow entity in front of TV. Try getting up, slammed back down. Running out of air. Get even more scared. Try to get up again. Feel fingers slide off neck. Run to my mom's room. Stay up all night making sure brother and sister were safe. Me. Decide to be a bee. Finds what I thought to be a humble hive. They seem very welcoming, make me feel at home. Think very hard on if I want to be a bee. Yes. Does extreme procedure to shrink first, then transfer my mind into a dead bee. Alive as bee. Go to join my new family. Things are a bit different. Sacrifices start happening, missions to destroy humans are spoken of. Does not feel at home anymore, want to leave. Can't. 1000 bees stop me, tell me to back up. I am still here as a bee. They put me to war next week. I'm sure I will like it soon enough. So this is a pretty mundane story about some pretty mundane shit, nothing paranormal or anything, so I'm not sure if I should be posting this on X. It's a pretty old story of mine, but I was listening to old/X/stories on the YouTube and it got me thinking about it today, and so I decided to share this one with you guys. Me. 19 years old. Still living with my mom after high school. My parents split up my senior year and my mom is disabled, so I lived at home for a while till I met my future wife some years later. Got into the habit of smoking the sweet leaf with some friends in high school, so I'd go out late at night and hang out with them on the weekends. Sometimes would bring home a stash consisting of a dub sack or two, never more than that. Mom didn't care that I smoked but didn't want me cheating at the house. Both of my buddies who smoked also live with their parents at the time, so we could only smoke at their house if their parents weren't home, which was not very often. This resulted in us trying to find smoke spots late at night around town, sometimes in the library parking lot, sometimes behind this little nook that we found behind the 7-Eleven, sometimes in the Walmart parking lot if it was dead. Lot of fun times, met a lot of interesting characters on our adventures. One weekend I was invited to go camping with the buds out in the woods, but I couldn't go cause I had to be home to take care of mom. Papos@.jpg. She could get along by herself for the most part, but she needed help cooking and stuff because she can't stand for very long. Also couldn't drive, so I had to do any and all errands needed. She let me drive her car and paid for my gas. Pretty sweet deal for staying at home. Hang out with the dudes the night before they leave for camping the next day. Buy a couple dub sacks off of them. Hang out for a few hours, get righteously stoned. Feels goodman.jpg. Drive home and go to bed. Continued. Me. Mutual friend calls to give me the news about the accident. Invites me to go out with all of his mates to the bar. Get there super late after crying my eyes out. Friends are on the patio, alone except for an old man sitting by himself. Was very well dressed, vest, scarf, wool overcoat, and a black felt Homburg. Extremely out of place at the venue. Jump to this Sunday. Grabbing pizza with GF. Walk into local shop to find old man chilling at a table by the register. Same hat, same glasses. Positive it's him. B today. Driving to store. As I'm pulling in, it's the same old fucking man in the middle crossing the sidewalk. Stops, looks at me, smiles, and hurries through the walkway. Have a quick panic attack in traffic, and go home. Twice was pretty weird enough, simply because his appearance was so striking on both occasions. Crossing paths with this strangely overdressed old man again, only to have him acknowledge me was fucking spooky. I mentioned him to my GF after we left the pizza place and she swears she saw no old man there. I can't help but feel somehow he is tied, not saying responsible, with the passing of my friend. I figured /X/ would have some input on this, so I'm open to interpretation. Be me. Outside smoking late at night. See what looks like bright white headlights sitting in the cow pasture. Cow pasture is about 1/4 mile from my house. My yard and the crop field in between my yard and cow pasture are fully illuminated like it's daytime. WTF.jpg. The two lights move. Left light goes right, right light goes left. Lights cross and disappear behind the horizon. Maybe the ranchers were checking their herd. Maybe dirt bikes. Listen to try to hear any noise. No noise. Ilma. True story BTW. Alright, onions, I've got a tale for you all, gather round and listen. Be me. Family is split between the East Coast from PA, where I'm from, and the New England area, but mostly in Maine. My family is invited up by our relatives up there to their place for a week and we're all up for it cause my uncle and all of them are good people and already planning out shit to do. Get there and things are normal for a while until the third day when the guys of the family go out on a crabbing trip in my uncle's boat. Not the best boat but it's a good boat that has the main area, steering wheel and seats and whatever, enclosed in a cabin of sorts with windows all over. Of course the morons forgot to check the weather so after 3 hours and a dozen crabs in we're in the middle of this big ass bay with no land in sight and the weather turning shit. Pretty much just us sitting in the cabin shooting the shit while the storm passes until my uncle looks up and says holy shit. We're all looking out the window behind me now as we watch through the dark clouds and rain this giant fucking figure just wading through the water. Too far away to make out any details since it's hidden behind a thick layer of clouds and rain and fog. But it's lanky as all hell with a thin oval head. Lighting strikes behind it like it's some kind of movie and we're all just watching for a while as it moves further away from the boat. At the same time the storm starts to ease up so they drive the boat the hell back to land. Talk about it the rest of the time with the relatives though overall we just all think it's just weird rather than scary.